Mornings are lovely, listeners. Even the scientists have confirmed it now. They went out into the fog early morning, armed with buzzing electrical equipment, a whirring saw, and a few dozen tons of dynamite, and have not yet returned. They've instead been found in a mysterious clearing just north of the Red River, frozen in place and impossible to move. The unremovable gas marks make it difficult to read their expressions, but the slow retreat into the forest when no one would be awake to see them, all those funny liquids in their beakers, those fancy white baggy costumes, all the other fun-sounding items they took with them. Listeners, the popular theory out there is they have frozen themselves in time, them and only themselves, in order to enjoy the morning forever. Selfish, Mr. Scientist. Some people want to have all the fun for themselves. But Justin, confirmed by the scientists, mornings are lovely. I'm really starting to dislike this job, subscribers. Having religions is turning out to be quite disastrous for public figures such as myself. The daily barrage of requests, letters, religious chants to say right before the podcast, death threats, and the knives constantly held at my throat by representatives by both religions make me feel constricted, to say the least. I'm having to screen everything I say for political correctness and religious sentiments and proper number and usage and position of adverbs. It's extremely irritating, and for public benefit, I'd like to discourage any and all subscribers from ever inventing a religion. Even if you do, try to keep it within the walls of your own house. Always remember, a secret religion is much better than an open one, for everyone involved, and preferably not involved. The island has been split into two, listeners. The intern just confirmed it, peeking through the window with the binoculars. Approximately half of the hitters, the sliders and shell blowers, have migrated to the north end of the island, setting up huts, tents, and other small leaf-based shelters around the 4-story granite spire that is the residence and religious center for Stuart, the perfect and incredibly handsome Messiah. He is just so beautiful, listeners. The other half, meanwhile, has settled on the huge, membranous, pulsing roots of the woman that turned into a tree. The tree itself, now in its complete state, has a blood-red bark, bulbous, misshapen roots that molest the sand like giant penal abrasions digging into the white, pristine ground, and branches that become the sky itself. The settlers claim that their first meeting with the divine truth, their purpose of existence and their God, arrived in the form of small seed pods that grew on the roots. These seed pods burst open periodically to infuse the air with a sweet-smelling green vapor which, when inhaled, enables them to look upon the truth and be enlightened, be happy, and be at peace. There has been an increasing amount of political unrest between the two groups, listeners. Just yesterday, I happened to witness a small congregation breaking itself to bits. There seemed to be a disagreement over whether something existed or not, whether it was tangible in our plane of existence, whether it could be felt, touched, heard, or represented in a series of intricate dances and arrangements, or even whether it mattered or not. Listeners, please remember that argument and disagreement solves nothing. It only heightens disparities and increases possibility of revolt. Stay silent instead. Keep quiet. Tape your mouth shut and rock back and forth slightly in a corner of a dark room with only your thoughts to give you company. Drink plenty of water and smile a little every day. With regard to this, the mayor's office just released a statement claiming that it is splitting in half to deal with the two sides of the island. This came after many days of bickering, debating, and goat sacrifice. Immediately after telling me this, the messenger split his body into half, splattering blood and intestines all over my studio, pieces of his brain dripping from my mic. A few moments of ugly, bulbous regrowth followed. violent, cancerous regeneration, as each half was subjected to spasms and uncontrollable excrement, until I was faced by two smiling, bespectacled, exactly identical representatives who each left in opposite directions, one after the other. I must say, listeners, I've never seen such prompt action delivered by any government official before. The island's in a good pair of hands. And now the weather.
रान 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 चला उठू सारे रान रे चले